Welcome to Good Morning Football. It's game day, baby, right here, September 10th. We've been waiting a long time for this. We've got 3 hours to get you set for the Chiefs welcoming the Texans to town to open this thing off. It is a kickoff party right here on Good Morning Football. And with a party, you need a good snack. We're presented to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups this morning. My name's Kay Adams, Nate Burleson, Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt. Peter, on a level of 1 to infinity, how excited are you about football hours away from now?
It's very high, Kay. I would say I'm near the infinity level. As the show progresses, I know my excitement level will build up because we are closer to seeing Mahomes and Watson in tonight's game. Cannot wait. Football's here. It's amazing that we got here.
221 days of waiting and rotting. We have watched amateur zookeeping, professional cornhole. We have watched Trolls World Tour 76 times. I'm good on Timberlake and Kendrick. I can stop the feeling. I want Mahomes and Watson. Let's go, Nate! Come on!
Let's go. It's time, baby. I smell it. You smell that? It smells like football. Smells like shoulder pads cracking together. It smells like sweat. It smells like determination. And tonight, it's going to smell like a world champion. But guess what? It's 2020, baby. And that scent is starting to wear off like a bloodhound losing his track. Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter who the Chiefs were last year. Who are you going to be this year? I can't wait.
I thought you were going to say it smelled like new money, because that's what we're dealing with tonight. Two newly paid quarterbacks squaring off at Arrowhead. There will be fans in the stands. Jeffrey Shadia will be with us at Arrowhead Stadium live to get you guys the very latest on both sides of the ball. But let's talk about this matchup tonight, guys. We'll be talking about it, of course, for 3 hours. It's time for the lead block, of course. And let's get to it. We've seen talented teams win the Super Bowl. It takes something a little bit special to go back to back. The last time it happened was with Tom Brady's Patriots 15 years ago, and that's what the 2020 Chiefs are trying to do. A lot of people think they're going to do it. The road to repeat begins tonight. So when you look at the greatness on the list that you're looking at, what's the ceiling for Patrick Mahomes and these Chiefs, Nate?
I'm going to treat it like an old school 90s celebration and just raise the roof, because there's no ceilings, just like one of my favorite Lil Wayne mixtapes. Why would we give them a ceiling? We've seen what he's done over the first few years of his career. If we now realize 20 years later that there wasn't a ceiling over Tom Brady's career and he created a dynasty, why can't we say that it's possible for this man right here, this beautiful specimen of a quarterback that can make every throw in the book, plus the ones when he's not looking? And not only does he have the talent, he has the right coach and the right technology. And by technology, I mean players around him. I feel like right now we are witnessing greatness. And if they do what I think is possible this season, we are witnessing a start of a dynasty. And I do believe they have the talent to hoist another trophy after another trophy after another trophy, just like Tom Brady we praise so often.
Wow. You know, it's funny because we see these clips of the Chiefs and all this. They're a likable defending champion. What do I say by that? Well, likable. All 31 fan bases can appreciate this guy, right? Like, Brady had his nemesis. Like, there was the first, the Indianapolis fans couldn't stand Brady. Then it seemed like 30 other teams couldn't, and they were jealous. And it was like, all right, well, Belichick's hard to wrap our arms around. This team right here, when you've got Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid and a fan base that had waited 50 years to enjoy this moment, it's hard not to say, okay, at least part of me likes these guys. There's no evil villain aspect to this. This is a likable champion. But all likable champions turn when it comes to year 2. You better believe teams and fan bases are going to be a little sick of seeing these faces and our 4 faces just going on and on about how great Mahomes is and what a lovable man Andy Reid is. That starts to fester a little bit. And I'm fascinated to see when they go from being the beloved Chiefs to now trying to be this, a repeat champion. It doesn't happen often. Patriots, 2004 was the last time. Baseball even longer. But here's what is the ceiling for the Chiefs. It's not repeat champions, because I think they're the favorite for that. They're looking to be the first to be three-peat champions. Baseball did it, the Yankees. The Isles with Mike Bossy, they did it. NBA, we know Shaq and Kobe and the rest. No one in the Super Bowl era has ever been three-peat champions. Before they even start their title defense, that's the ceiling. Not just one more, but a third straight Super Bowl. High expectations, and yet if you listen to the four of us talk about them and the rest of the country on television, that should be no problem. It's going to be a cakewalk, according to everybody else.
All right, we're shot out of a cannon officially. Peter, three-peat, rare air, rare hype right here. And Nate, it's not always about the 90s on the show. Sometimes we can talk about another decade. To that point, I don't know how we haven't run this yet, but you know that we showed all the pictures and the video of the Chiefs parade. There's actually a picture that's going out the Chiefs are acknowledging is accurate. It's a picture of their parade 2 years from now. Have you seen this picture of the Chiefs? This is 2 years down the road. There they are. Oh, there they are. That's Mahomes in the middle.
Look at that.
And there's Tyreek on the far right, and I think that's Kelsey in the hat on the far left. That picture is taken from downtown Kansas City in 2022. They look thrilled about it. As well they should be, guys. This is my take on Mahomes and everything. He looked thrilled about it. As well they should be, guys. This is my take on Mahomes and everything he's doing. He's so ahead of schedule, it's unfair. He got a head start on everybody. Pat Mahomes is still 24 years old. Peyton Manning did not win so much as a wild card game until he was 27. First playoff win for Aaron Rodgers, 27. For Drew Brees, 27. For Eli Manning, 27. That's a bunch of old heads compared to Mahomes. He already has the soup and the MVP. He's a baby in this league. He's not even reached NFL puberty yet. Don't pay attention to his voice. I'm telling you, the best is yet to come, and he's already got a whole thing of hardware. We'll see him in a couple of years from now. Ceiling starts tonight.
But will it happen this year? Back to back?
Yeah.
Is not easy. Scratching the Microsoft Surface. I get it. We're talking about this, right? You mentioned the team that did it last, 2004 Patriots. Salary cap was a little bit different with what they're paying Tom Brady, what they're going to have to pay Patrick Mahomes. I looked it up. The last 25 years, two teams have done it. It's the Broncos and those Pats that we were talking about. In the 25 years prior to the salary cap, 5 teams had done it in that time. That's why it's such rare air. The way that they're handing out these big contracts, they're not going to be able to keep this current team together super long. So it matters. Tonight matters. Hours from now on NBC matters for Patrick Mahomes, for his legacy. Not just to be an incredible player, maybe one of the best to ever do it, but to be that guy paid a lot of money that keeps getting his teams to Super Bowls, because we have not seen that with Aaron Rodgers, who has a ring, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees. Need I go on? Okay, we've got to get to Jeffrey Chadia. He is live at Arrowhead right now, giving us everything we need to know leading up to kickoff. Oh. Jeffrey, it's that kind of day out there in Kansas City. Well, it's not going to ruin my excitement. Yes. Talk to me about the Chiefs, Jeffrey, and how they are handling all of the hype that our show is giving them.
Well, Kay, they're trying to do the best they can with this. You know, earlier this offseason, Chris Jones and Tyreek Hill were talking about winning 5, 7 Super Bowls. That's been toned down a lot over the last 6 weeks. They've been talking more about trying to grind, trying to do the right thing, trying to get egos out of the way. Frank Clark said, look, we really understand that teams in the past, when they won a Super Bowl and tried to repeat, a big thing that happened was overconfidence. They talk about last year being last year. It's done. Yeah, they got their rings. Yeah, they raised the flag at a practice a couple of weeks ago. Yes, tonight will be fun when they talk about raising another banner. But they really care more about just what's going to happen over the next 16 weeks into the playoffs, because they believe, as you guys have all said, they can be dynastic. And to be dynastic, you have to be focused. And so that's what they're focusing on, trying to take it one day at a time.
If you're just tuning in, we are now joined by Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel. Jim, the real storm that's brewing in Kansas City is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Both in reality and fantasy, everyone is very excited about this rookie back who has never been on an NFL field. I kind of like a sloppy track for him tonight, if that's what we're looking for. What can we expect from the debut this evening of Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Well, if you go back to 2017, the Chiefs debuted another rookie running back named Kareem Hunt, and he had a record-setting day. He had 246 total yards from scrimmage, took the league by storm. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has that same type of potential when you talk to people around the Chiefs. They love his potential as a receiver, as a runner. He's really done well in pass protection in training camp. And he's a really smart kid. You know, they can't rave enough about the way he's been coachable, the way he's leaned on guys like Darrell Williams, another running back who went to LSU like him. They think that this guy, the sky's the limit with this guy, and the way that they're using him, the way they're going to use him. Look for another Kareem Hunt type performance tonight. I think he's going to really blow up.
Nice.
NFL.com's rankings have him outside the top 5 of the running back spot for tonight's matchup against the Texans, but I have a feeling our show will be putting him in any lineup, any given time for fantasy football purposes. We are so excited for his NFL debut. Thank you so much, Jeffrey Chadia. We'll be with you all day long celebrating kickoff. It's a party right here on Good Morning Football. And after this, let's talk down to kickoff right here. Thanks for choosing us this morning wherever you're watching, YouTube TV, your normal TV over there in the UK and Ireland. We are here to celebrate with you. But we also want to look ahead to these Sunday games, and there's no more intrigue than the fact that we're getting this gift of the Buccaneers and the Saints. Let's send it over to James Palmer. He's got an update on Tom Brady and some of those receivers he will or will not be throwing the ball to.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers star wide receiver Mike Evans missed practice both Tuesday and Wednesday with a hamstring injury. Right now, the team is considering him day to day, but Bruce Arians did add if he misses practice all the way through Friday, they still will not rule him out for their game Sunday against the Saints in New Orleans. They will take it all the way up to kickoff to determine if Evans is able to play. Newly acquired running back Leonard Fournette has only been with the team for a handful of practices, but will have a solid role within the game plan against New Orleans. He's been spending time with Tom Brady. They believe he has been picking things up quickly, but obviously he won't be able to do everything. All 3 backs with LaShawn McCoy, Ronald Jones, and Fournette will be used situationally. Fournette landed in Tampa because he wanted to be a place that had multiple stars that alleviated some of the pressure off of himself. Since he came into the league, he's faced a stacked box more than any other running back in the league. Now he feels like with so many other weapons for Tom Brady to go to, he might be able to run the football very effectively. We'll find out how that goes on Sunday.
Appreciate James Palmer. Threw a little shade at Blake Bortles while he was at it, but look at this. It is Drew Brees. He's fallen just short of his Super Bowl appearance these last few seasons, winning his division. Couldn't quite make it. Brees was asked if coming that close this late in his career has begun to weigh on him.
Hey, this time, man, I'm on borrowed time. I got nothing to lose. So, I'm turning it loose and letting the chips fall where they may. I know that everything happens for a reason, and that in most cases, failure is the best teacher. That's the approach I've always taken. That's the approach this team has taken, and I feel like we found a way to garner strength from each one of these moments from over the last few years, and it's only made us better, and it's only brought us closer to the ultimate prize.
I've got nothing to lose. Oh, guys, it's time for a little believe it or not.
Bing.
I love hearing that from Drew Brees. You know how I feel he's going to let it fly? Love it. Believe it or not, Drew Brees will let it loose for more touchdown passes than Tom Brady, his opponent for Week 1 in Week 1, Nate.
I believe it, yeah. Drew Brees always starts the season off fast. And the news about Mike Evans having that hamstring and it being a game-time decision, it's going to be tough for me to pick the Buccaneers having a great game in the air. Now, listen, the Bucs might have a better game on the ground, but as far as touchdowns, I'm going with Drew Brees.
I believe it, too. I'm going to say 2 for 2. Brees has more touchdowns. You might think, all right, well, then the Saints roll. Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. I think Fournette's going to get work. I think the Bucs are going to try to run. I still think Mike Evans is their best player on offense, and if he is limited, I think that alters the game plan. Brady's going to get a few. Brees might get more, but does he get the win? It is prediction week. I'll tell you later. I think that Brees has more, but maybe the Bucs will win.
Tom Brady's walking into the Superdome, and you're picturing Tom Brady walking into a house of horrors. Superdome's going to have 70 decibels of ambient noise pumped in from NFL films. Yep. Tom Brady's going to be able to walk right up there at the line of scrimmage, take his time, pace things in the cadence the way he wants, identify what he's got on the outside. All right, Godwin, talk to Godwin. Hey, Chris, here's what we're going to do. Oh, wait, Gronk, go this way. It's going to be a different deal. Brady at the line of scrimmage with all these weapons. I would be shocked if Evans doesn't play. Come on, it's week 1 against the Saints in the Tom Brady era. He's going to let that hamstring stop him? Get out of here. I think Brady throws for 4 touchdowns and the Buccaneers take care of business.
Peter, breaking news.
We'd love to know what you guys think. At GMFB, please let us know what you guys think about these. Play along. Tell us how excited you are about football. Let's move on to the Vikings, guys. Let's do it. Switching to the NFC North. They're hosting the Packers on Sunday. Mike Zimmer talked to the reporters yesterday about the challenges his defense has in facing and containing Aaron Rodgers.
That's part of facing quarterback that moves in and out of the pocket. And, you know, he makes his hay in the red zone by moving out of the pocket and finding guys and buying time for his receivers. And the receivers do an unbelievable job of taking off and either heading back, you know, and changing direction. And then he's able to find him with the great vision he has. You know, I was watching some tape on him this morning, and you know, some of the plays he makes take your breath away. It's kind of like watching Barry Sanders run the football.
I'm loving everything about this. He's comparing Aaron Rodgers to Barry Sanders. And believe it or not, Rodgers will have more total yards, passing and rushing, than Kirk Cousins in Week 1, Triggs.
I say yes, I believe it, and it's because I don't know what we're getting from Mike Zimmer's defensive backfield. Mike Zimmer is a defensive backs coach at heart, a maestro, but without having all the familiar faces that we're used to in Minnesota, I'm not sure what we're having when you've got 2 rookies and Mike Hughes really being the corners, add in a questionable Danielle Hunter, and suddenly I'm seeing Aaron Rodgers having his way against the Vikings, even in Minnesota. I believe it. Rodgers starts the season off just right, and he does some numbers bigger than Kirk Cousins.
I don't believe it. Now, Aaron Rodgers, he will have more passing touchdowns, but as far as rushing the ball, Kirk Cousins will actually leave the pocket and try to scramble for a first down. Aaron Rodgers, at this point in his career, he's not leaving the pocket to scramble for a first down. He doesn't want to take any hits. He doesn't want to do the extra work. He's going to use his leg to expand the pocket and expand the play and get the ball downfield. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to do exactly what we're seeing right here, get the ball out of his hands. Kirk Cousins will have more rushing yards. So I'll say Kirk Cousins. The Vikings at home, they're ready for this matchup.
All right. I don't know about Aaron Rodgers and Barry Sanders. If he gets any more gray in that goatee, he's going to look like Harlan Sanders. And yet, Aaron Rodgers is walking into that stadium. What is it, Peter? 70 decibels, no fans. You're going to come up to the line.
70 decibels.
You do this. And Marquez, you do this. Yeah, very, very comfortable. There's something scary going on with the Packers that maybe we're part of it. I'm reading about things where there's fantasy drafts where Aaron Rodgers is going undrafted, getting taken late. There's a lot of teams not picking him. It seems ripe right now, absolutely ripe. But I'm going to say, yes, it is Rodgers. More total stats, more total everything, more total Barry Sanders, more total hair, everything. Aaron Rodgers, I think, would beat Kirk Cousins, as much as I love Kirk.
I agree with you. I think the Vikings are built on the run game, and Aaron Rodgers is going to come out firing Week 1 and on. At Timothy with your thoughts. It's prediction week here on the show, guys. And the 2020 season kicks off tonight. We're counting it down here on the show, and we could not be more excited. But all week long, we've been giving out our predictions from MVP to who's making the playoffs and everything in between. It's prediction week here on GMFB, and it all leads up to this. We are giving you our Super Bowl teams and the eventual winner of Super Bowl 55 to be played in Tampa Bay. None of us have told each other who we are picking. I'm sure some of us might guess who we are each picking. Kyle, down there, take it away, Rabbit.
Yeah, this is the big one. This ain't the Defensive Player of the Year prediction. This is not achievement in sound editing. This is best picture. Here we go. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell you right off the bat that I believe that the NFC champions appearing in the Super Bowl in Tampa will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm in. Strap those bottle rockets to my rollerblades and let me ride. However, I believe that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to lose on their home field to a team that's been away for a while, but they are back, and they are back in black. The Steelers over the Bucs in the Super Bowl. What is up. I got the Steelers. I'm taking a risk on Ben. I don't care. It feels beautiful. The defense, Tomlin, number 7, one last job riding out to the OK Corral. And this man, TJ, all over TV in the Super Bowl. Last time Ben Roethlisberger won a Super Bowl was in Tampa, Florida. And I think he wins another one. I got the Steelers over the Bucs for the soup.
Woo. Kyle, you were almost spot on. You were so close. What? Here's the thing. We think alike, but not that alike. So for the NFC, I got the Bucs. But here's some things you didn't mention, Kyle. I mean, this is Tom Brady, man. Like, you think Tom Brady would have left New England to not have a chance to hoist that Lombardi once again? He brings Gronk out of retirement. Leonard Fournette falls in his lap. He has 2 of the best wide receivers in the business, a young defense, and a head coach, Bruce Arians, that's ready to rock and roll. Oh, and not to mention, the Super Bowl is in Tampa. Doesn't it seem like a fairy tale?
Yeah.
But there's somebody named Patrick Magnificent, Maleficent Mahomes that is gonna ruin that fairy tale like a Disney villain. I'm going with KC. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions, baby, with this man as your MVP. Shregs, what you got, man?
Ooh, I love this. I love this.
I love it.
We didn't share our picks before the show. We didn't share our picks for the last 200 days. We've been working from home every single day together, talking football in a barren offseason of no actual football. And guys, guess who I have representing the National Football Conference in the Super Bowl? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also going to be representing the NFC. I guess, I don't know what, this could be an all-time freezing cold take that 3 of the 4 hosts, and potentially 4 if Cave takes them as well, are taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have not been to the playoffs since 2007 and have not had a playoff win since 2002, to go to the Super Bowl and be home when they play that Super Bowl. But Nate Burleson, you are speaking gospel right now, because it's going to be one of those type of nights for Tom Brady. He might be walking in there thinking he's getting number 7, but there's going to be a number 32 waiting to take that ball and take it to the house. I, too, have the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl in Brady's backyard. I've got Chiefs over Bucs. Mahomes wins his 2nd straight Super Bowl MVP, and we are looking at a true dynasty in the National Football League where the ceiling is completely wide open. It's just 2. There might be 3, 4, 5. I don't know how many. Kay Adams, are you also on the Buccaneers hype train?
I cannot believe all 3 of you picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love this show so much, and I love the respect for the Chiefs that Peter Schrager, if you're just waking up and seeing our show for the first time, I would love to go back 2-3 years when Peter was putting Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes on the map. And now it is undeniably the most talented team, the most talented quarterback in the National Football League. Schrags knows what he's talking about. I cannot believe this has all panned out this way for 2 years. That said, I've got a complicated relationship with the Chiefs. Chiefs fans. I've got family in Kansas City. I love them. I love what they did last season. I was so happy for Andy Reid. And they will be in the Super Bowl easily. They add Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They bring everybody back for this ride. They will be in Tampa Bay. But they will lose to the New Orleans Saints. And I say it confidently.
Get it out there.
I'm trying to get Nate Burleson's face as I hold this. I don't have a jersey, guys. They didn't send me a jersey. But here's what I'd like to say as I hold my microphone in this very emotional moment. I am Peter Schrager. I am the band in the Titanic. I am the ride or die of all ride or dies. And there's something to be said about being as ride or die as I am. Has my heart been broken by this team? Yes, just like all of the fans. Have I thought they were the most complete for 3 years? Yes, and it hasn't happened. But I really do believe this is the best team. And if they don't do it, I am Laverne and Shirleying this thing off of the cliff. This is my last ride. This is the Expendables. This is, the Jordan's 98 with the Bulls, Elway with the Broncos. I am on my last ride, Saints, so you better be on notice. This is it.
I respect it. I respect it.
Can I point out one thing? Kay, I think we should clarify this. I think this is very important. We love Laverne and Shirley. They did not drive a car off the cliff. That'd be Thelma and Louise. I respect
Thelma
the passion,
and Louise,
but Laverne and Shirley didn't go down like
Kill
that.
Laverne and Shirley like that.
Never saw it. Never saw it either.
In the factory.
Who went off the cliff?
Gina Davis.
Louise.
Who was the other one? Sarandon.
Well, I just ruined that.
got,
Don't put that on Twitter. Nate, Chiefs beating the Buccaneers. Kyle saying the Steelers are taking down the Buccaneers. Straight is saying the Chiefs are defeating the Buccaneers. All three guys picking the Buccaneers to represent the NFC in Super Bowl 54. And I'm going to ride or die, and I'm going to be playing, Beethoven something on my way down. And I apologize to Laverne and Shirley.
Hey, it's okay. It's